The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Ethiopia has finally joined the moving train, the winning team. We know Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have become the moving and the winning team that we have in Africa. Ethiopia is saying, that yes, I have to come into the scene. That Africa is capable. That there was a man who said, Africans are capable of managing their own affairs. And to be frank, we are truly proving to these people that we are capable of managing our own affairs. That yes, we have to talk about security. And these people, whenever we want to take care of our own security and we want to buy the munitions that we want with our own money, these people sit there and say they will not sell it to Africans. Yes, so for that reason, we have to take our own security into our own hands. Sovereignty cannot be there without having anything to do for your own self. That is why Captain Ibrahim Traore is always telling the African that we need to be self-sufficient. We can never say we are a sovereign nation, yet we are not self-sufficient. Like other people will be sitting here in a country called G and be traveling to Ukraine to go and import maize when they have a very beautiful and a vast land. Yes, yet they go outside of G to go and import maize from Ukraine that is at war. This Ethiopia is saying is old-fashioned. That this cannot be. So for that reason, Ethiopia has also come out with its own technology, manufacturing their own ammunition. You heard me right. We know that Mali, our all in all, the savior, the protector, the unifier, the king of kings, the most loved general, Colonel Assimi Goita, came out and told us how they are going to manufacture their own weapons. Yes, because when we go to Yellow Pawpaw to buy our own weapons for our own security, these people always decide the kind of weapons they want to sell to us, and even sometimes they refuse to sell the weapons to we the Africans, so that we will always sit here for them to come and be doing whatsoever.
Africa is rising. The world has long underestimated the potential of this continent, but now the tides are turning. Ethiopia is producing and exporting its own munitions. Zimbabwe is pioneering energy innovation. Burkina Faso is making electric cars. And these are just a few of the countless success stories unfolding across Africa. This is a new era, and today we dive deep into what makes Africa a force to reckon with. For decades, African nations have depended on external powers for their defense needs. But Ethiopia is rewriting the script. The country is now manufacturing its own weapons and even exporting them. This is not just about military strength, it's about sovereignty, economic growth, and technological advancement. When a nation controls its defense industry, it controls its future. This is a powerful statement to the world. Africa is no longer just a consumer. Africa is a producer, and Ethiopia is proving that with determination and vision, self-sufficiency is possible. But Ethiopia is not alone in this journey. A young Zimbabwean, Maxwell Chikumbuso, has cracked the code to an innovation many thought was impossible: converting radio frequency into energy. Yes, you heard that right. A system that harvests ambient radio waves and transforms them into usable electricity. Imagine the impact of this breakthrough. Rural communities no longer held back by lack of infrastructure. Entire nations generating clean energy from the air around them. This is not the work of billion-dollar companies in the West. It's happening right here in Africa. And Maxwell isn't alone. Across the continent, young innovators are proving that Africa has the talent, the brains, and the vision to lead in technology. The only missing piece? Unity. Burkina Faso is now in the business of producing electric cars. This is a game changer. While the world shifts towards sustainability, Africa is not being left behind. These locally made vehicles are proof that Africa is capable of high-tech manufacturing. But let's take a step back and ask ourselves a crucial question. If these individual nations can achieve such feats on their own, what could Africa achieve if it worked together? This is where the real power lies: collaboration. Imagine Ethiopia's defense industry merging with Zimbabwe's energy breakthroughs and Burkina Faso's automobile innovations. Imagine African nations pooling resources, sharing knowledge, and investing in each other's industries. That is how a superpower is born. We already have the talent. We already have the resources. The next step is unity. When Africa stands together, there is no limit to what we can achieve. So my question to you is this: how can we, as Africans and global citizens, contribute to this movement? How can we support African innovation? It starts with awareness. It starts with investing in our own. It starts with believing in our own potential. If you believe in Africa's potential, share this message. Let the world see what's happening on this continent. Leave a comment below on what industry you think Africa should focus on next. And don't forget to subscribe.
Accompanied by senior officials from his ministerial department, conducted a working visit from February 25th to 27th, 2025 to the Federal Democratic Republic in Niger-Ethiopia. Summaries with Abar Amiti.
This visit by the Minister of State, Minister of National Defense, Army Corps General Salif Modi is part of the diversification of partnerships in the field of defense, which the National Council for the Safeguard of the Homeland has committed to since coming to power on July 26, 2023. During his stay, the Minister of State, Minister of National Defense, held talks with his counterpart, Mrs. Aicha Mohamed Musa, Minister of Defense of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. They discussed several topics of common interest. And after this meeting, the Minister of State, Minister of National Defense, Army Corps General Salif Modi attended a presentation on the management of certain aspects of Ethiopian defense, including, among others, the management of the Ethiopian Armed Forces, in terms of mobilizing human resources, empowering air and ground forces, and combating armed insurgency. During his stay, the Army Corps General Salif Modi also met with Kasi Yilma, the Acting Director General of Ethiopian Aviation University, which regularly hosts Nigerian military trainees. Furthermore, the day of February 27th was entirely dedicated to a series of visits. The first stop was the main airbase of the Ethiopian Air Force, located in Bishufu, about 50 kilometers from the capital, Addis Ababa. Upon arrival at the airbase, which houses the Ethiopian Air Force headquarters, the Aeronautical Maintenance Center, and the Ethiopian Air Force Academy, the ministerial delegation was warmly welcomed by General Yilma Mendersa, Chief of Staff of the Ethiopian Air Force. After a brief meeting, the Minister of State, Minister of National Defense visited the facilities of the Ethiopian Air Force Academy, the Technicians College, the flight school where he was introduced to all the training opportunities for aircrew. The end of the visit was marked by a summary meeting which allowed the two parties to redefine a cooperation plan. The second stage was the visit to the Defense Engineering Industries, a state-owned public establishment primarily responsible for enhancing the capabilities of the armed forces in terms of vehicles, weaponry, and ammunition, and which also handles the maintenance, modernization, and upgrading of vehicles and armored equipment. After these visits, the Minister of State, the Minister of National Defense made a point to visit the premises of the diplomatic and consular representation of Niger in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, where he interacted with the staff.
And finally, boom, we wake up one day and heard that, yay, they say cars. Yes, today, wherever we want to go, Africa, we need cars. Cars have become part of our lives, so we cannot do without it. And Burkina Faso said, I am here with my electric cars. Yes, and before then, we had Uganda. Uganda started manufacturing their own electric cars. And that wasn't all. We woke up one day and they said there was one man called Mas Chukumbutu. Yes, from Zimbabwe, who also brought us a very unique technology that even the West have never heard of it. What we said we can do, these people say we cannot do. So we are proving to these people that Africans, we are the best. We are the original. Everything originated from Africa. We are the first Homo sapiens. Al-Kabula, mother of nature, the Garden of Eden. Everybody came out of Africa, like Museveni rightfully told these people that if you don't know your history, I will teach you your history. Everybody who looks down upon African came out of African, and we are the best, and we'll continue to show these people that we, the black people, are the best. These people only came to study, you know, Alexander the Great, Socrates, and those ones when they had the chance to enter our library, the Alexandria Library in Egypt. So they took away this carbon, all these things that we've documented. They took them away, and today they have the carbon. They only look at it and copy and come and tell us. They have never invented anything. Everything is the African idea. And you see, even the plane that we see you doing, and even you see me on this thing, this video calls we do, this video thing you are seeing me, all these things. Blacks are behind. We are the ones who always do the final work. Without us, nothing can be possible now. It's just that after we have finished doing all these things, you know what they do to Muammar Gaddafi, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Yes, so when they finally gain all the knowledge from us, then they do to us like. And when we tell our brothers and sisters, when you get this knowledge, stay in Africa, they want to go to the Yellow Popos camp. Like Captain Ibrahim Traore told them, we don't want to leave Africa for anything. Ibrahim Traore said, how can I leave this beautiful land? This amazing, wonderful land. That there is Ethiopia, there is Egypt, see, there is Libya, there is everything in Africa, and he will leave it to go where? In the world. For what? That no, it's not going to be possible. He wants to live in Africa. He will never send his money offshore, so that when you are doing something but he can't talk. That is not possible. He wants to live in Africa, die in Africa, and do everything African. So Africans, we are showing these people that we have all the knowledge that they claim we do not have. These people brainwash us into believing that there is nothing we can do for ourselves. They have to always come and give us everything. But that's not the truth. And this education is for us to go and be memorizing things. And they will draw something and ask us to label the parts of it. The intestines. We should name this. What is the highest mountain in Africa? The highest mountain in the world. And these are the same people who come and be giving us scriptures to be reading when they are giving their children all the skills that they need in school. Africans are sitting here teaching their children how they will die and inherit the kingdom of God. What a brilliant education that Africans will have. So at the end of the day, the kind of education that they've given to us will end up not doing anything for ourselves. But you know, you can never cheat nature. The land is fighting for us. When we take Maso Chukwumbutu, for instance, he didn't get all the PhDs, all the he didn't have them. Yet this man is able to do the undoable. The kind of knowledge and the technology that he brought. Even these yellow papa who claim they know everything, don't even have it. They were shocked. So Africans, we need to take control over our security. It's because these people always determine the kind of weapons that we get in Africa. That's why our security system is weak. We are still using the olden age of AK-47. When we shoot one, we have to stand for 15 minutes and load and do pak, 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 pak before another bullet will enter and we shoot again. Before you do pak, 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 and shoot, these people, they have finished you. Because now we are using what? Drones. These are the kind of modern weapons we are using to fight. But Africans are still living in the Stone Age era with the Stone Age weapons. That's what we are fighting with. And that's why Africans are not able to take control over our security. And Ethiopia is saying, I am here. Mali is saying, I'm here. That is old-fashioned. We should be able to produce the kind of weapons that we need to be able to safeguard ourselves, so that these people will not come all in the name of our natural resources and say they are coming to help us fight insurgencies. These insurgencies, they are the same people that are creating them. That's why you see this gentleman club can never do anything about it. Africans, until we are able to unite as a group and do away with all these Western bases, military bases that we have in Africa, we can never have peace. It's not possible. Because these people are interested in the mineral resources of Africa. And they'll always station their people, these troops, where they can, you know what? Look, you just take Nigeria now. Why is it that they are not at Calabar and they are at where? Where the oil is. So where the mineral resources are and they're interested in, that's where they create the confusion, and then they send their troops and tell us that they are helping us to fight insurgencies. No, but if we have our own weapons, our own ammunition, the drones, these people can never match up. You know, when it comes to strength, the African man is very strong. Everything Africa, you know, see the kind of knowledge, see nature and ancestors. Ooh, the one that created the black person took his time and gave us everything. But we have allowed ourselves. Today we have taste for foreign whatsoever. If not, we would have been purchasing the things that are made in Burkina, are made in Uganda, Rwanda, and everything African. But these people succeeded in taking our taste out of the African into whatsoever that they are doing. And that is why you see with the women who want to wear Brazilian hair, Japanese hair, yet you're an African, yet you want to look like a Japanese woman. Oh, Africa. So, what is left for we the Africans now is unity. We have to unite. Let's start to see ourselves as one people, regardless of whatever it is. As for conflict, we can never do without conflict. It is part of nature. It is part of us. So we will once in a blue moon fight. But that doesn't mean that we cannot resolve like what is happening in Congo between Congo and Rwanda. We are brothers. We will definitely fight. But we should be able to sit together and smile and say sorry to one another and move forward. Until the black man is able to do that, these people will always capitalize on this division and always win. But the time has come. Over 400 years we've come a long way not to be able to unite as a people. And that was what Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was fighting for. And that was what Muammar Gaddafi was fighting, African unity. Because that is the only way we can defeat oppression. Until then, Africans will never rise up. And we are tired of being suppressed. The best can never be the last. How? And that is the message Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso are sending to the other African leaders who want to dance to Yolo Popo and eat Yolo Popo. Because democracy is a system created by these people to continue looting. And the moment we keep holding on to democracy, we can never unite as Africans. Democracy brings division among the people. And that is why a brother and a sister in the same house will be fighting, because this one is in party A, party B. You see, they have crafted it very nicely. And until we do away with all the systems that were created by the oppressor, Africans will never rise up. So let's start to love ourselves. Forgiveness is very important. Let's start to unite and forgive ourselves. And unite, like they are Congolese. How can you go and be bringing Donald Trump into this issue, giving our mineral resources that we are fighting and doing everything possible to preserve? You want to give it out to the United States of America for troops, when UN troops has been there for decades, and you, Congo, you are still not knowing peace. Our leaders. Oh, we wish that we can have Captain Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goïta, and Abdurrahman Chiani spreading that leadership to other parts of Africa, because we have to take Africa by force from these ones that are still under oppression and they love to be oppressed. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. We are still mentally enslaved, and that is why we don't see that our unity is everything. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa and in Ethiopia.